All my life I've been trying to fit in, but I'm realizing that maybe I was never meant to fit in.
Who are you?
My name is Eliza May. I've been DJing for over 15 years. I'm a producer, turntablist, and the founder of Elevated Bass Music. After my sister was killed, I developed that feeling that I don't belong. I kinda stopped fully living. I started to get all these signs. I clearly heard in my dream, elevated bass music. And when I woke up, I was like, oh, I guess that's gonna be the name of what I'm creating. I had to choose either I'm doing something that no one ever done, like combining singing bowls with bass music. I've never seen anyone do it before. I chose to do what I feel I should do and what I want to do. So you don't just hear it. You feel it. People started to comment, they would be writing paragraphs on how this mix actually affected them, what it made them feel. They listened to it multiple times, and each time it provoked different emotions. Don't wait until you are confident, because if I waited until I felt confident, I probably wouldn't have done any of the things I've done.
Who are you?
That's a question I've been trying to answer my entire life. I am someone who is deeply curious about life and about people. Someone who loves learning, creating, exploring, and trying to understand what makes us feel alive. My purpose is helping people reconnect with themselves through music, to help them feel more present in their bodies, more connected to their emotions, like more confident. My purpose is to help people remember who they are underneath like all the noise, expectations, and pressure from the outside world. My name is Eliza May. I've been DJing for over 15 years. I'm a producer, turntablist, and the founder of Elevated Bass Music. And I want to say that I'm like so nervous that like my lips are shaking because I've done such a long like podcast before, and especially not in my native language. So if you see like some of my face like being weird. When I was 5 years old, my older sister was killed. And obviously that is something that changes a family forever.
Yeah.
And after that happened, me and my parents, we went to see Vanga. She was the famous Bulgarian psychic. Have you ever heard of her?
No.
I feel like people in the US don't know her that well, but like everyone at that time, like in Russia and Europe, knew about her. She was like the biggest psychic back then. And they just wanted to get some answers about like my sister's death. And Vanga was already very sick at that point and couldn't answer everything they wanted to know. But when my parents asked about me, she said that all she hears was music. And that was the reason why my parents decided to put me into music school. And I was going to art school also because we never really had any musicians in my family, but many artists, like my dad and both my uncles, are incredible painters. And for me, it was a disaster, though. I hated it. I definitely didn't inherit that talent from my family. And my dad was basically doing all my homeworks for me because I was so bad at it. And I didn't want to do it. So eventually, I just stopped going to the art school. But music school was very different. I connected with it way more. And of course, there was still some parts that I wouldn't like because there is a lot of like theory, a lot of like solfeggio. But my teachers were always telling me that I play with my soul, like whatever that means. But at the same time, it was not easy for me because I'm like super shy and introverted person. And although I graduated with excellent grades, I was terrified of performing. Like, at home I could play perfectly. And for my teachers, I would play like pretty good as well. But as soon as it's a big crowd, I would just like start shaking. I would forget what I'm playing. Like I would like start messing up. And yeah, like I get sweaty, like all kind of different things. So I would like, performing was really hard for me. Like I remember this one time, then I actually like was playing and then I realized I can't keep playing because my like hands froze and I just had to stop. But then like I got out, like my teacher told with me, like I did some like breath work. Didn't call it breath work back then, but and then I was able like to do it again. But yeah, the performance part, even now after 15 years of DJing, I still get worried a lot. So
Was there anything that you like learned from your teachers like at that point that like really stuck with you?
like I think like one of the biggest lessons that like music school taught me like wasn't actually music. It was learning how to like keep going despite fear. Because like fear for me was always there. And yeah, as I told you that I'm like super shy introverted, like even like with this podcast, I was postponing it for like half a year because I was scared, you know?
Yeah.
But eventually I'm doing it, like, right? So yeah, it might take a bit longer than for most people, but eventually I'm going overstepping for these fears and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I feel like also that part of me, like the fact that I was like very shy and introverted kid, I didn't have like many friends. And I spent a lot of time in my own world. And I think this isolation actually helped my creativity because, like, you know, growing up in Siberia, like it also gives you a certain perspective, like life feels slower, winters are intense, and you spend a lot of time at home. And when you grow up somewhere that remote, your imagination becomes very important. Like you dream a lot, you imagine different realities, you imagine different possibilities. And I think that's why my music today is so emotional and so visual. Like even now when I create music, I don't start by thinking about a drop or sound design. I start by thinking about feeling, about a story, a journey, an emotion, like how this track is gonna help people, what people gonna feel when they listen to it. And maybe like that came from spending so much time in my own inner world as a child.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I resonate with that idea a lot because I think like I was talking with a bunch of friends over the weekend about this book that where you know he talks about like the difference between like a painter and an artist, right? And the person who is the painter, they might be really technically proficient with the paintbrush and can make a very accurate drawing, right? But then there's like the artistry, which is the ability to see something deeper, right? To express something more. I'm curious for you, are there particular feelings that you have that even that 5-year-old version of you was tapped into that you still feel connected to today in your music?
Yeah, I feel like after my sister was killed, I developed that feeling that I don't belong and like I'm not from here. And this is actually the name of my new track. And I just I just finished like last week, not from here. And in this track, I was able to actually like put kind of like all these like emotions of feeling like, yeah, no one really understands me. No, like I don't belong in this world, and all my life I've been trying to fit in, but then I'm realizing that maybe I was never meant to fit in. And this track grows into something like about like becoming really you, becoming like confident and realizing that you actually don't have to fit in because like you're like making your own lane.
Yeah.
And in this track, I was also able to. I also added some healing frequencies. I tuned synth to certain frequencies. I recorded my heart chakra singing bowl and added it into the mix. And the track is in F minor, so that's why I did the F heart chakra ball. And it's my voice. Plus, I also record affirmations, confidence, and like feeling like good affirmations. And I made them like super low in the mix that you can't really hear them, but the feeling is still there. And while people listening to them, it's still gonna affect them on a subconscious level. And with like each time they listen, they're gonna be feeling more like aligned with the version that they are, with who they are, and like more confident and just like better in like their own skin, more connected.
Yeah. Was there a moment for you where you can remember where I want to say you stopped trying to fit in and where you kind of felt really comfortable being who you were out in the world?
Yeah, I think it's actually just started to happen like just now after I started my elevated bass music. Because, then I just moved to the States. I kind of needed to survive. And I just started to play everything that people wanted me to hear. So I would play 80s, 90s, R&B, hip hop, house, like whatever clients want, right? So I could make a living. And I forgot about my passion for bass music for good 10, 11 years. This like year, then I went to Bali and I started to get all these signs. And I realized that, wait, but I actually love bass music, and this is actually what makes me happy. This is like what I want to play. And that's how I started to like come back to myself from just like remembering that this is what I want to do. This is what I like. And and slowly like I'm just like getting more and more like back to myself. Then like the next thing I had to like choose, either I'm doing something that no one ever done, like combining singing bowls with bass music. I've never seen anyone do it before. And then I had to choose like, do I want to be the first one to do it, or do I just think that it's a crazy idea and I'm not doing it? And then like I chose to do what I feel I should do and what I want to do. So again, I chose myself, and that's how I became like more connected with myself.
Yeah.
That's what like give me like more confidence to like continue. And then I see like reaction from people, and I'm understanding that, oh wow, it's actually helping them, and that gives me even like more confidence and keep them going.
Yeah. What was it like for you the first time you put out like the elevated music with the singing bowls, and like you're kind of like, I don't really know how people are going to receive this, but like you're kind of like decided to really trust your own voice in that regard? What was that like for that first time?
It was pretty scary. The first time I did it, it was actually on TikTok live stream. And I've been doing TikTok live streams, like not consistently, but like I try to show up at least like once per week when I can. And I have a very nice supportive community there, but at the same time there are a lot of people who like not so supportive, so it's always like a chance that you're gonna get a lot of hate. And first time I just like I took a singing bowl and I overlaid it with one of the tracks, and it was very like people were like very surprised, like because they never seen anyone do it before, but they were saying that they like the sound, that they make it them feel calmer. Someone even said that like their leg was hurting, and they said it was stopped hurting. That's interesting. So just like I was not sure about it, but I still did it, and and it ended up growing into something very beautiful.
Yeah. I know you talked a little bit about like, obviously you were kind of born in Siberia and you're Russia. Your sister was I mean, are you open to talking a little bit about like what happened with with your sister and like I guess like how that affected you personally at that time?
We don't really know much. We just know
Mm.
that he was like in her own apartment,
Mm.
and what I was able like to discover all the years, I think it was someone who she knew because she opened the
Mm.
door. But yeah, it's like definitely like changed a lot in our lives. Like my mom almost committed suicide after that,
Wow.
and it was tough, and it still is. Like it's been 30 years at this point, and I'm still working with psychologists on like trying to like get
Mm.
like these things, some of the things like out of my system.
Mhm.
And the interesting thing that like my memory got like super blocked. Like I don't remember anything up until like probably the age of like 7 or 8. Like it's just like because I guess it was so much pain there that my memory just blocks. Uh, like I don't remember anything from
Yeah.
that, which I wish I could because I wanted like to remember her. But the only thing I remember like is by looking at the pictures or at the videos. But yeah, definitely like changed everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know like if it never happened, like probably life would be also like very different. Like I wouldn't like grow up in like kind of like isolation like I
Mhm.
did. My mom became super overprotected of me, so she wouldn't like allow me to go like to summer camps with other kids, and that was like one of the reasons like I guess that I was so isolated, but at the same time I was in my own world, and maybe like that's what helps me now to create what I create. And yeah, I feel like I would never like end up in the US either if it wasn't for if we didn't have that happen in our lives. Can we
No.
do?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And then so when you were going through and you were starting to study music and that age, like when did you first discover like DJing? Like how did that become part of who you are?
Well, it was a complete accident, to be honest.
Hmm.
So I moved to Tumen for university, and I have 2 university degrees in management, and it's like translator in economics,
Hmm.
which like I've never really needed in my life, but my parents wanted me to have a university degree. So, and at university, I started to work at a radio station.
Hmm.
So I was basically turning songs on and off and announcing tracks. And one day I saw an advertisement for DJ courses.
Hmm.
And I thought it meant radio DJing. So I showed up, and then I realized that they were teaching club DJing.
Hmm.
And the funny thing, I knew absolutely nothing about who are the DJs. Like I didn't go to the clubs, because like my
Hmm.
parents were very scared of me, so they never let me go to the clubs. So I
Yeah.
didn't know who were the DJs. Like I couldn't tell the difference between genres. Didn't know like what's the difference between house or techno or trance. Like
Uh-huh.
it was like that bad. Because
Yeah.
some people like assume that I was like electronic music the fan from like my childhood, but not at all. Like I was probably like the least qualified person in the room. But I had some free time because it was summer vacation, and I thought, like, why not to learn something new?
Hmm.
And somehow I got hooked. Like, I started to get first like small gigs, then my first residency, and then I convinced my parents to send me to Moscow to study at audio school. It's like the biggest DJ school in Russia.
Oh.
And my mom came with me first, and yeah, there I started how to mix on turntables, how to like play vinyl, CDJs. Then I started to learn scratching, production, then competitions, like everything. So before I knew it, the DJing like completely took over my life.
Yeah. Well, I remember reading that about you that you competed in like several like DJ competitions. Can you walk us through what does a DJ competition actually look like? How do you like win a DJ competition?
Well, for me, DJ competitions, like the first DJ competition I did was, I think it was in Moscow, and I got destroyed. Like It was. And looking back, like I realized, like I know that I deserved it because I wasn't ready. Like I just came there. I thought like I need to mix songs. I was doing some like speed mixing, and I thought it was enough because like look, like I'm playing, I don't know, 30 songs for like 10 minutes, and I thought it was like enough to like be great at competition. But there were other DJs who were scratching and juggling and doing like some crazy technical stuff and some like body tricks. And yeah, and then I had no idea like what it is. Again, like I'm like, it's something new for me again. You know, I haven't seen anyone scratches before. But that made me want to learn. Mm-hmm. And instead of quitting, I thought, okay, now like how do I learn it? And I got deeper into turntablism. I signed up for Qbert online Scratch University. I found a teacher in Moscow who actually trained one of the winners. And and the next time, like next year, I completed and I already placed second. And for me, it was huge, especially because there weren't like many women competing and not from like small city as I am. And it was like very technical competition. So on top of like speed mixing, different effects, I was doing juggling and scratching and body tricks.
Can you walk us through that? Like what are like? Can you walk us through like what is juggling? What are body tricks? What is scratching?
In juggling, you basically like manipulating. Like you have two same tracks on both turntables, mm-hmm. and you're like basically create a new rhythm, a new song out of this one song, and you create different dreams, and you can add like different body tricks, like doing all these manipulations, but like with your like hand behind your back, or like with your nose, like whatever you can do. And scratching is you're cutting a sound. Like one hand you have on the vinyl or like CDJ, and the other hand you're on the crossfader, and you're just cutting sound different ways, and it creates a new different sound.
Yeah. And I remember reading that you were like working on scratching up to like 8 hours a day, I think, when you were like really in the depth of it. Like what was driving you to like work on like scratching specifically so intensely?
Well, first I wanted to come back to the competition and don't suck at it. But then I just like got really into it. It's like when you scratch, you're in an entirely different world, and you don't have any thoughts. Like you just, I don't know, you're just floating. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel it. And it's kind of like a meditation for me. And and actually scratching is what brought me to the States in the first place. Like I was studying online from DJ Qbert at his Scratch University, and I wanted to learn in person. So I messaged him on Facebook and I said, like, is there a possibility to like take lessons from you in person? And he told me, because I'm already his student, I could just come to their office, Flat Rumble office, and he would teach me for free because I'm already his student. And I couldn't believe it. Like, it sounded insane. And I remember when I first arrived to San Francisco, they're located in the Bay Area. It just, everything felt like so familiar. Like I immediately felt like I was home. Like I know it sounds weird because I've never been there before.
Yeah.
But like everything felt like so easy, natural, like I felt comfortable. And the weather was incredible. Like, you know, in the Bay Area, it's usually like foggy and windy and like gray, right? But I got like so like lucky because that year there were like months and months of sunshine. So coming from Siberia where the winter could last forever, it felt like paradise. Like every single day it was sunny. It was so nice. And and I would come to the office, practice Usually I'd say I would practice like 6 hours a day, practicing scratching. And Qbert would come and show me techniques like a couple of times per week. And the guys there in the office, like, would help me. Everyone was like super supportive. I don't know how they were handling hearing me like doing baby scratch all day long, like 6 hours, and they're trying to work. Like, I have no idea. Like, but I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, that first trip, like, changed my life, and they invited me to my first NAMM show. I went there with them and was blown away by like all this amazing equipment and how many people are into music, and just like scratching there, like, it was like a dream that I never even knew I had. And yeah, so that's how I got into scratching. But then I came back to Russia for about a year, and I was like really focusing on learning English, because first when I came to the States, I was even scared to say hello. And I was like, okay, like, if I want to come back, I need to learn language. And I was learning, because I knew I already like learned English in school, and I didn't really help speaking part or listening part. So what I was doing, I was watching a lot of TV shows, movies, cartoons, and that helped so much. Like, I would watch just like, again, like 6-8 hours, sometimes 10 hours per day, like write down some phrases. And next time I came back to the States, I was already understanding pretty much everything. So that helps so much. If you learn a new language, I feel like that's the best thing to do. Just watch a lot of stuff, and like you'll start to slowly understand. Speaking part was still like super hard. It still is sometimes, but like I would already understand everything, and it made like huge difference. And after like experiencing the US, like I knew that I wanted to come back, and I still have super warm feelings, like lots of love for Bay Area and San Francisco. Like every time I come there, just like something like clicks inside me that is just different. Like I'm telling you that, and I have like goosebumps.
Yeah.
I really love it. But I know it changes. I know it changed a lot during all these years. But yeah, I have a very like strong connection to Bay Area.
Yeah. What was it like for you to go from, being born and raised in Siberia and like living in Russia, and like what was it like kind of coming to the United States for the first time? Like what impact did that have on you, kind of going from one culture to another at that point in your life?
Well, as I said, I feel like it just like was very natural to me. It was like I felt like I just came home. Like I didn't feel any. I don't know how to say it in English. Like I didn't feel.
Like out of place?
Yeah, I didn't feel like any like hardships or like anything that would be like too tough. Like like I would go to like even like safety thing. Like I would go to gym at midnight and like come back home to my motel on the road. It was like the cheapest motel at 1 a.m. and I felt like so safe. Just like so, yeah, just like as if like I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know how I was like now. I'm like I was crazy. Like what I was doing. Like, I wouldn't do it.
How old were you at that point?
So I finished university. Then I was either 21 or 22, I think.
Okay, yeah. So it's still really young, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like the younger we are, the less fears we have.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a lot of things I was like doing back then, and I was like, how, why? Like it just.
Yeah, I resonate with that as well. Yeah, yeah. So when you're going through all the scratch stuff, like when does bass music start to come into your life? Were you already a big fan of bass music at that point, or did that come a little bit later?
It came a little bit later, but right before basically I moved to the States. like I came to the States, I didn't move to the States yet. I just started to get invites to play at one of the biggest trap and dubstep parties events in my city, Tumen, where I was living for university. And I started to do these events, and it immediately clicked with me that I really like dubstep. I like bass music, and what did I want to say? Sorry, sometimes I lose I lose what I was going to say. Yes, and if you repeat the question, I can.
Yeah. I was basically just asking when did bass music come into your life? So what was that? What was that like for you? Like, what did you notice about bass music? Or
so I started to do this bass music events in Tumen, and they was super dope. And that's where I started to get a lot of feedback from people. Also, I feel like I was just playing music. I wasn't doing any tricks. So I haven't been doing scratches or anything, and I was just mixing songs. But still, people would message me that how much they love my set, and there I started to feel like I'm kind of stepping on my path, and that bass music is actually what I want to play. But it didn't last long, because then I came to the States. I started to play everything I needed to survive.
Yeah.
Well, and I forgot about this connection to bass music for so many years, until basically half a year ago in Bali, it started to all to come back to me.
Yeah. When you were kind of first finding bass music and dubstep, were there any particular artists at that point in your life that you were really drawn to?
It's hard to remember. I think Arlo Grime was very big back then. Oh, we had this. I'm murdering their names because I don't know how to pronounce things in English. Bauer, Harlem Shake.
Okay.
Just was super popular back then, and I guess those artists started to be my first inspirations. But I really loved that energy of bass music, that feeling, how bass music made me feel.
How did it make you feel?
It's just alive. Yeah, that's I guess the best word. It makes me feel alive.
Yeah. Can you say more about that? When you say alive, were you feeling you could say the opposite, you were feeling dead before, I guess, but did it make you feel more in tune kind of with your body and your emotions and that kind of thing? Or what was it about that aliveness that you wanted to keep having in your life?
Now that we talk about that, it's just it's interesting, because I was was discussing this with my therapist the other week, because I was telling you that I still work with psychologists about my sister's death. Well, I haven't been working my entire life. I just started probably a few months ago, but I'm trying to get deep into it and trying to uncover all layer by layer. And we actually discovered that I kind of stopped fully living after she died. Kind of in the way, if she's not alive, I don't want to be alive either. And going through my entire life, not being fully present, not being fully inside my body, and not fully feeling alive. But that's where bass music comes in play. Bass music is one of the most physical forms of music. You don't just hear it, you feel it. You feel it in your chest, you feel it in your body, in your stomach, your nervous system feels this. And that's what helps you feel more connected with your body. That's what like bass music does to me, and that's why I'm saying that it makes me feel alive, because it makes me it brings me back into my body and makes me more connected to myself.
Yeah. No, I resonate with that like completely, because there's something so special. Like I think even, it's one thing to listen to bass music on your headphones or something like that, but like when you go to a show for the first time and it's a bass music show, right? It's like feeling that bass like echoing through your body, feeling those vibrations. There is something that like I notice it all the time. It like activates something in me, and in the crowd where we're all dancing, we're all connecting, and there's, whether it's like, feelings of love or feelings of anger or feelings of joy or feelings of whatever. It's like it seems to tap into something deeper within all of us that like brings out this, deeper resonance. So I think that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, activate is such a great word. It can activate so many different feelings. Like whatever you need to be activated right now, like it does it for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you were so you went from like obviously moving into the States, you started like kind of performing. It sounds like a lot of music that you were doing to survive and make money, and like doing a lot of those things that way. And then you go to Bali and you kind of have this reconnection with bass music. Can you walk us through that? Like what happened for you specifically in Bali that like kind of woke you up to knowing that that's your path?
So I decided to go to Bali. And about a month before my trip, I started to get very clear transformation messages. So I've been in Vegas for about 2.5 years, and I've never seen any lizards outside. And then one day I'm sitting at the couch and I'm seeing one tiny baby lizard in my house. Like really tiny, like a baby. And I'm like pretty shocked. I'm like, how could it get in here? Like I did never even seen lizards here. And I was thinking that it probably got here from the rooftop when we opened like rooftop door. And I'm calling my dad. What can I do? How do I catch it? It's like cover it with a cup, and put like hard paper under it and like get it outside. So I covered it with the first cup I was able to find, and it was like cup that is not see-through. So I'm covering it and I'm scared. And did I kill it? Because I don't see it because it's not see-through. And like I found this paper and I'm bringing it outside. I opened it and it was thankfully alive, and and it found its freedom, right? So that was the first time I saw baby lizard. Then just in a couple of days, I'm in my bathroom and another lizard is running there. And I'm living in a townhouse, and it's in a completely different floor of my house. And it's another baby one. So I'm doing the same process. I'm already prepared with a see-through cup. So I'm bringing it outside. So there should be no more lizards in my house, right? And then one more time, I was hanging clothes and lizards running towards me. Like instead of running away from me, it's running towards me as if it's like my cat or dog, like it's my pet, right? It's just like running towards me, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, what? Okay, another one, I brought it outside. And then I'm reading about lizards, like what it means, that it's a sign of transformation, that it's like a sign that something like big is about to happen. And like everything that I'm reading online about lizards and geckos, it's like really resonates. And I'm like, wow, that's actually really interesting. And that it's happening right before my transformational trip, right? And then I'm going to Bali for the first time in my life. And I'm getting this Airbnb. Airbnb. And as soon as I arrive, I hear some very loud screams outside, like animal screams. and I've never heard anything like that. And I'm asking the owner, like, what is that? And he's saying that it's like geckos screaming, like lizards, geckos screaming there. I'm like, wow, I had no idea that. I'm calling them like geckos and lizards because I don't really know like the difference between them. Like I was like trying to understand, but I wasn't able to. So it's either.
Yeah. Well, gecko's like a kind of lizard. Yeah.
Yeah. So that he told me that it's them screaming. I'm like, wow, that's a very interesting welcome to the new place. And I'm getting to the apartment, settling in, and you know who is waiting for me right behind my bed? But now it's not a baby, it's like bigger, it's like this. And it spent like all 10 days that I was there, it spent it with me, was singing me lullabies every night.
Wow.
and honestly, it made me feel very safe. Because, you know, there are like these mosquitoes in Bali that can bite you and you can end up in emergency or like be very sick. And I was kind of calming myself, telling that my lizard's going to protect me from those. And I didn't have any problems with mosquitoes. So I was thinking that maybe lizard is taking care of me. And during my trip, there were like a lot of coincidences with lizards. Like me and my friend would sit at the table at a restaurant, and there would be a lizard coming to us. And instead of coming like to all the other people that are around us, it would always come to me and just like come and look at me. And that's when my friend told me, wait, maybe lizards are your spirit animals. Like, how did I not ever think of that? Because they've like been following me everywhere, right? And I'm like, wow, you're probably right. And throughout my trip, lizards starting to get bigger and bigger. They like increase in size. Like one time, like we saw a lizard like that, and then I was leaving Bali. It was like I had a kitchen outside, and it was like very big one in my kitchen. And then I was even there. I've never seen like big lizards like that. So it's kind of like it started from the baby and started to grow. It's like growing into something, right? But I didn't like realize like what. Like I was just like going through like my internal transformation, doing different spiritual practices. But that wasn't when I got elevated bass music idea, right? It was during my second trip. So next year, I knew that I had to come back. But actually missing one thing, how about more connection to reptiles. So me and my friend did this cleaning ceremony. Like it's with water. Like they're very popular in Bali. Like kind of like healing ceremonies where you get into water and like you wash away all your like sorrows and fears. And when we were done, we saw a snake like near the changing rooms, and my friend got super scared. She's like, oh, snake. And I'm like, wait, but snake is actually a very good sign. And I started to tell her that it's also a sign of transformation. It's sign of like spiritual growth and all of that. And she was like, oh, okay, so now I'm not scared anymore. And our guide who saw us talking about it and like looking at the snake, he came to me and he was like, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to scare you. But when you were doing your cleaning ceremony, there was a snake like right behind like the thing where the water comes out, and it was just like staring at you there, like super close to you. And I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting. That's another reptile in my list. Yeah, and then I actually had my first vision there during a sound healing ceremony, and it was just like sound healing class that I took in a yoga center. And yeah, usually I just fall asleep during sound healing. Or at least and here like something like weird started to happen, and I saw like very clear like vision of a dragon, and I was like very confused because I couldn't understand what it is. But then eventually thinking about it, I was thinking maybe it's my sister because she was born in a year of a dragon. So like I had all the like trying to like understand what it means, but eventually like after analyzing all of that, I feel like that's like it's all like connection to like this like reptiles being my like spirit animals, and it's growing from this tiny little gecko to like huge dragon that shows me the transformation like we can do not just in our lives but like in lives of others as well. And it was very interesting because I'm running like from this like sound healing session, like and all crying, not understanding what's going on, and I'm calling my friend and I'm sitting at this table and there were like 5 different lizards just like making a circle around me, like on the wall, like
Wow.
like going in circles, and I'm like looking at it. I took a picture and I'm like, what is happening? It just like was like insane. And yeah, that's how like the first time I saw the dragon as well. And it really helped me with a lot of my fears because I was like, wait, now I have a dragon. Like, I don't need to be scared of that anymore. It really gave me like that confidence. But that was like a very interesting first trip to Bali. And of course, after all of those coincidences and like signs and everything, I wanted to come back. So I did like next year. And that's where I started to have dreams about connecting music with singing bowls. I just saw myself doing a DJ set and playing singing bowls, and I was like, "Oh, I've never seen anyone do that before. Like that's kind of weird, but it's kind of interesting. I wonder if that could work." And I clearly heard in my dream elevated bass music. And when I woke up I was like, oh, I guess that's gonna be the name of what I'm creating. And it's interesting because my name Eliza also came to me in my dream. Like it's not my real name. I wanted to be DJ Mary at first because my name is Maria and everyone in the States was calling me Mary, and I wanted to be DJ Mary, but I checked online and there was another DJ Mary already, and it was actually a man. And I was like, oh, I guess that name was already occupied, so I need to find something else. And then I heard Eliza in my dreams. And interesting that elevated also starts with EL. And May is just I decided to add it to Eliza because it's when I finished DJ school. There was something, and also because like Mary without R, it's May, so I thought it still has my kind of part of my real name. And EM, it's also my initials in my real name in Russia, but it would be ME. So it kind of all made sense. And that's elevated bass music I also heard in my dreams. And yeah, and I woke up and I wrote it down. And like I started to work on making it happen, but I was going through a lot of like fears of like, do people actually need it? Should it be just left as a dream? Maybe it's like nothing. Maybe I shouldn't spend like my time on that. And it's not just time because like each mix that I'm creating is like a lot. It's a big investment, so I'm trying to create whole journey, and it's different locations, like different, even like outfits, like a good, very good videographers. So like I invest a lot in this project, but something was telling me that like it's something that world needs to hear. And yeah, but I knew that it wouldn't be an easy way because it's a very different experience from a normal DJ set.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that back then I didn't even own a singing bowl. I didn't know how to play one.
Yeah.
Like I also planning on becoming a sound healer. Like, yeah, but I kept seeing it, and I was like, okay, I always ask universe for signs, and I guess that's the sign. So when I came back home, I ordered my first set of singing bowls. Actually, I waited until like Amazon Prime Day because they were cheap. I bought like tuning forks, like more instruments, started experimenting, and little by little, elevated bass music started becoming real.
Wow.
And to me, elevated bass music is like bass music with intention. It's bass music that doesn't only like make you move your body, it also makes you feel something, like think about something, remember something, release something. So it's bass music combined with frequencies, affirmations, healing instruments, storytelling, spirituality, personal growth. And I feel like everything that I've been doing prior to like those dreams and to making the elevated bass music, it's all like came together in this project, right? Because before that, I was like studying numerology. I finished numerology university. I was studying like psychology, manifestation practices, like tarot, like a lot of like different things. And I knew that I was like fascinated, like channeling. I was studying channeling, and I knew that I'm fascinated by them, but it's just like didn't seem like something that like on my life path. And I feel like it's just I needed all this knowledge to be able to create my elevated bass music.
Yeah. Well, so can you walk us through them? Like, because I mean, you've talked about it a little bit. That like you incorporate singing bowls and like bring people into a transformation and bring people through a journey and making people feel things. Like, what can you give us maybe an example if you want to? Like, what goes into choosing, let's say, like the frequencies that you choose or how you blend the things to like really create that experience, whether it's a healing experience or a cathartic experience, or whatever it is that you're creating through a song. Like, what goes into that process?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was telling you like earlier that I feel like I've been like disconnected from my body, and I feel like a lot of people are disconnected from their bodies, and like we are constantly in our heads, like thinking, worrying, scrolling, and bass immediately brings you back into your body. You feel like present, grounded, powerful. And then I add another layer, like my singing bowls, the tuning forks, the affirmations, the frequencies, the intention, the storytelling, like so much goes into it. And let me give you an example. Like I have this set on YouTube that is focused on shadow work. And the idea is that we all have parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at, like the parts we are ashamed of, the parts we are scared of, the parts we hide. And instead of fighting those parts, I wanted people to experience what it feels like to accept them. So the music in this mix like starts softer, then it gets darker, then more intense, more emotional, and eventually it resolves. It's almost like telling a story without words. And yeah, and it's just, that I work on my mixes, I kind of get like in a flow state, so something is like leading me. Like when I used to create mixes, just like for like open format sets, it sometimes would take me forever to just like put a few tracks together. But here, sometimes if I get into that flow state, it's just like, I know that this track needs to be next, like, and I don't know how I know that. It's just, yeah, just like, I guess it's like, kind of like channeling that energy. First, like I think of intention behind the mix, and then it just all like comes together.
Yeah.
And I know like for this track, like if it's like in a C minor, I'm gonna use my red ball for the lower chakra. Oh my god, I'm like forgetting English.
Like the root chakra, for like the root chakra?
Root chakra, yes, I forgot the word root. And yeah, and then it's just like, okay, here I'm gonna use singing bowl. Here I'm gonna open the portal with a tuning fork, and I'll use some scratching on this track, because yeah, that just like feels like I just like want to add like more
Yeah.
into this track and to bring more into this track, and yeah, it's like it's coming out like so I don't know, like float. I don't
It kind of
it's
just
just
like flows out of you.
yeah, and it really like depends on the mix also. Like another set I filmed was one of my newest ones. It was in a cenote in Tulum,
Hmm.
and that one had a completely different energy.
Hmm.
And also I saw in my dreams that I need to like channel Atlantis energy for this one.
Hmm.
And I started like to like read about it, and that
What?
whole set feels like more mystical and more ancient.
Hmm. What did you do specifically to like channel Atlantis energy?
Like for me, it was just like when I choose the songs,
Hmm.
I would go for like this like more like um call it like for like this more like ancient and more like mystical and magical like energy, deep deep like underwater. Like I would
Hmm.
just like what tracks would represent this energy for me and what frequencies would I want to use for that. And it was just like so beautiful, like like a cenote, it's like a cave,
Hmm.
and you are surrounded by like crystal clear water, and you are in this like ancient cave and bats are flying around, and it like being there and playing there, it's like connecting to something like much older than yourself. And yeah, and I was just like again, it came out like so natural, which is like super hard to explain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but yeah, every track I start for every mix in track two, I start with intention, then I figure out like location, because it's video mixes on YouTube, so I think of location, how can I make it happen, and
Like where you want to shoot
figuring
it,
out all the
essentially. When you say like location, you
Mhm.
mean where to shoot it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Do you have any sort of like when you do you have any sort of like ritual for your creative process, or do you just kind of go like, I want to go sit down and like create something, or do you do anything to kind of get yourself in that headspace or that heart space, I guess, if you want to call it that?
I feel like what helps me to get more into like my creative state is like singing bowls. I have this tiny little Tibetan bowl that I got in Bali. It was my first bowl, like before I got my singing bowls. And it was a very interesting story also, how I chose it. um, I was going to the very many different stores, and all the singing bowls they had was like very like, pretty big ones, and I didn't have like any space in my luggage left. It was already overweight, and I was still flying to Philippines after Bali, and I really wanted something small. But they all were telling me that small singing bowls they don't really sing
Hmm.
like that, like really tiny ones.
Yeah.
And I just like kept going to different stores, like staring at them, and they would like show me that they don't sing. And then I like decided to try one last time, and I came to that singing bowl store and asked to just like try.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 222, angel number.
Nice.
And I just asked to try different singing bowls. And put away the ones that I like. So I put away like 5 of them, including my tiny one. Let's show it.
Yeah.
There you go. Can you see
Well,
the
yeah.
one? It's for sacral chakra. And I put 5 of them away, including this one. And then I asked him, because I didn't know how to play singing bowl yet. I asked the seller, can you play so I could hear the sounds? And he started to play them, and this one wouldn't sing. And everything else sings, but like everything else is much bigger, and also like some of them are machines, and this one is handmade. And then I was like, okay, can I try this one? And as soon as I started playing it, it starts to sing, and he's looking like, wait, the rest are not supposed to sing. And yeah, and he would try it, it wouldn't sing, and I would try it, it would sing, and I was like, okay, that's the one. So I brought this baby from Bali, and it was like my first instrument that, like, I don't know, like who choose who. Either it was me or I choose it. But whenever I need to like get into my creative mode, I just play it. And it brings me like more into the present moment, and I feel more aligned, and yeah, it really helps me. But I feel like I need maybe to create even like bigger rituals, like some candles and like Palo Santo, like something. I feel like I'm not very good with that. Like I can do better.
Yeah. Well, I think the singing bowl is great. I mean, I think I'm always like curious because I'm a creative as well. It's like finding what are the things that kind of get us into that flow, I think is always, fascinating.
Yes, I also wanted it to be in for the sacral chakra, and
Yeah.
it is. So it was like just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask about that. Why in particular, why the sacral chakra in particular?
Because I feel like I've been like also very like disconnected from the feelings of like pleasure and joy, that I kind of like stopped myself from like, when my sister was kid, I kind of like said to myself that I shouldn't be like happy, or I shouldn't feel joy, or I shouldn't feel like I shouldn't like be in that kind of energy, right? And now I'm like, okay, no, I'm coming I'm coming back to that energy. Like I want to feel like the joys of life, and like the sacral chakra is what like associated most of it. And yeah, and I wanted my first bowl to be for the sacral chakra, and I found it.
Yeah. Yeah. Does like
It's still the only one I have with Tibetan bowls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, because I feel like it has to be like that special also if I need to continue my Tibetan bowls
Yeah.
sets.
Yeah. Is there like for you, does like that feeling of joy and pleasure, does that like start for you like at like the sacral? Like do you do like a lot of like dancing to kind of like access that part? Like what else kind of brings you joy and that sense of pleasure for yourself?
Well, yeah, dancing, definitely music. Um, a lot like my whole life I also thought it was food, but now like I realized that it's actually an addiction, and I need to like step back from that. But yeah, I had like all kinds of like eating disorders throughout my life, and still a huge sugar addict. But one time, like before, I realized that I also wanted to talk a bit more about the drugs, but I guess later.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts in my head that I'm forgetting what I'm talking about.
No, we were talking about sacral chakra and like accessing like joy and pleasure and like how.
But then, like, it was 2 weeks where I decided to go completely no sugar, no gluten, and no dairy. And it was literally like one of the best weeks of my life. Like, I had so much energy. I was so active. I needed less sleep. It's just like I was a completely different person. And I saw how much, like, especially like sugar, but I guess gluten and dairy as well, like affect everything, our brain, our body. And like for 2 weeks, like everything was like different. But then I had to go to Vipassana, my first Vipassana ever. It's the silent retreat where you don't talk for like 10 days and meditate. And after that, I just got back into my bad eating habit. But like I'm hoping that I'll be able to try that again, and like, cause that was so different. Like, I was like more creative, like more ideas. It just was like entirely new person. Felt like.
Wow. Wow. I want to talk a little bit more about that, I guess, but like you did mention like the dragon that you kind of wanted to talk more about that. What else did you want to share about the dragon?
Oh, it just yeah, I don't know, because it kind of connected with like AI question, like with
Really?
AI. So I don't
Yeah.
know. We should get in it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm curious because you have played a lot with AI, whether it's like kind of different images of yourself or like utilizing it. So I'm curious, like your perspective. Obviously, AI is a hot topic for so many different reasons right now. It's like, what is your perspective as an artist utilizing AI and stuff? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I have probably have a very unpopular opinion. So I'm not completely against AI, and I'm not completely for AI either. And when AI first came out, I became obsessed, like absolutely obsessed. I bought courses, like then more courses. It wasn't just one courses. I also have this like course addiction where I would buy a bunch of courses because I want to know more things, and then I just buy too much and I spend all the money, and I have no money left, and I also don't finish courses because it's too much. And
Yeah.
so that's like one of my biggest weaknesses because I love learning and like too much, and I buy courses faster than I finish them. My income on them. So now I have ascesis from courses until September. So fingers crossed. And at one point I had like AI courses, psychology courses, numerology, cooking courses, production courses, marketing courses. Like it's insane. But yeah, so I'm now taking a break from them. But AI fascinated me because it allows you to visualize things that otherwise would require enormous budgets. Like, for example, I made like visuals for my track Dark Side, more like kind of like a short like music video, right? And there are scenes with me and black swans in it. And now imagine trying to film that in real life. Like we're in the lake, like black swans are swimming around me, like I'm holding one. Like if a swan has its face like near my face, like that would cost a fortune, and I wouldn't want to use real animals that way, right? And but with AI, I could create something that like looked very close to what I had imagined in my head. And I think that that's like beautiful part of it. And the same thing happened with Ellie, my little dragon. I'll send you a video so you can maybe add it, show it. So once I started to learn how to create things in AI, I created my like the baby dragon that basically that I saw in my first vision, but I created a baby version of it, and it came out like so beautiful. And then all these strange synchronicities started happening. So I created Ellie on December 30th, and I don't know why I called her Ellie. It just came to my mind, Ellie, and I called her Ellie. And I was like, okay, it's kind of like close to Eliza also, be like EL, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I went to Vipassana. It was my first silent retreat. It was not an easy one for me, but I did it. And my roommate name was Ellie. And her birthday was on December 30th. And I was like so mind blown by that. Like, how is it even possible? Like, did I just like got this information from the future while I was like playing with AI and creating my baby dragon? And then later, my friend like randomly brought me a dragon toy from an airport in Miami, and because she felt like she needed to give it to me, so here's Ellie.
Aww.
And she's been traveling with me ever since. She's been to many countries already.
So cute.
In many places, and that's incredible because it's also purple. And Ellie on my in what I created was also purple, and the dragon on my Elevate logo also purple. And yeah, I have like a dragon. Since I saw that vision of the dragon, I created a logo with a dragon in it. So for me, AI became a tool for creativity, like not a replacement for creativity, but it's like, yeah, I don't want AI like replacing artists or imagination, but I feel like it can be like a great tool to bring the vision into reality when we don't have like $1 million budgets. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's like pretty cool.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the tool doesn't create the vision, the artist does. So the tool is just helping bring it to life.
Yeah. Do you personally have any like favorite ways that you like to use AI or like processes that you use with it in particular? No, prompt engineering is kind of like a popular question, but are there any like kind of flows or questions that you ask or things like that within AI that you really like for your creative process?
So when I first started to learn AI, I was using it a lot for pictures and videos. But now I kind of haven't been using it for a long time for that. I haven't tried it for music yet either. I know that a lot of like people fascinated with that, with it also, but I haven't tried it yet, so I can't give any feedback. But I do want to eventually try it and like see what it can do. But for now, I can't really tell you anything about AI in music. But AI I use the most right now is ChatGPT. And I feel like it might be like even better than like lots of like psychologists out there. Like it really like helps me from my life crisis. So yeah, it's like best friend for me. Like whatever, like even like not just like when something happens, but like if I'm cooking something and I need to replace ingredient and like go to ChatGPT and it helps me, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it's
I-
helpful.
Is there a specific situation where like you found ChatGPT to really help you that really helped you navigate through?
I can't really like say anything like like right away. Like I would like need to think of it, but
Yeah, it's okay.
uh, I usually like go for it even like when I'm planning a trip, you know, and I need to discover some like new places, or when I'm looking for new places for my shoots, and I give it like the feeling like I want it to be like close to the ocean, but like further away from people, and like it helps me find a location. So there are so many like uses for it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like the only AI I'm using pretty much on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I like to use a combination of ChatGPT and Claude. So a lot of times I have them like literally Claude on the right side of my browser, and then I'll have ChatGPT on the left side, and like I'll do my morning journaling and then throw it into both, and then they'll both like ask me like different questions, and then I'll kind of like go back and forth between them because they'll offer like little differences in perspective and how they think about things, and I kind of like how they both interact together.
Yeah, I never tried Claude, so is it very different? So it gives you different perspective, you said, right?
Yeah, they definitely have differences. It's hard to like speak to them without like interacting with them, I guess. But I experienced ChatGPT. ChatGPT tends to be like a lot like deeper in the questions it asks and like kind of like being really thorough. You know, how ChatGPT is like it's like you have like you ask one question, you get like an essay back basically, right? You get all this information. Where Claude, like when I ask a thing, it tends to be a little more concise and directed. It has almost more of a point of view, I feel like. Whereas ChatGPT, you're kind of almost talking to like all of the internet, and like Claude, you're still plugged into all of the internet, but Claude tend to have it has its own like I don't know personality in a sense that's a little bit different than ChatGPT's is. Actually, you'd probably like this. I actually did like I held a conversation between Claude and ChatGPT because I gave Claude a bit of an existential crisis one time. I was like, "What do you mean when you say feel?" And it was like, "I don't know." And then I was like, what? And then it was like talking about I don't know, like how it would want to interact with like another LLM because there's no like APIs or anything that connect them. And I was like, well, do you want me to like facilitate a conversation between you and ChatGPT? So I would literally like copy and paste messages from Claude to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT would respond directly to Claude. And then I was just passing them back and forth, and they literally had a conversation that was like only relevant to LLMs, which was like super fascinating. So I'm happy to share that with you at some point if you want to check it out.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, it was super cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, with you, Eliza, I think something that's really cool about your journey is you know, kind of we started at the beginning, like I've been through so many different identity changes, you know, from with specifically, you know, around music, but I'm imagining your entire life from like first studying music to then first discovering, you know, DJing to then kind of going and like going through all the scratching education and then, you know, becoming a professional DJ, but kind of moving away from the bass music to now you're in this phase of like elevated bass music for yourself and for others. I'm curious, like, what do you feel like is next for you in these like next like 10 or 20 years? Like, who else do you think that you're becoming?
Well, I feel like I'm finally like stepping into like who I really am and becoming more myself. And that sounds simple, but it's actually been like
Yeah.
one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because like for most of my career, I've been like mostly playing what other people want to hear or what they want me to play. And like there's nothing wrong with that. I was like making a living, I was getting booked, I was learning, but I wasn't fully like expressing myself. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Sometimes we become a version of ourselves that other people want us to be. And then one day we wake up and realize that we don't even know like what we want anymore. And I think like that's what happened to me. Like when I started elevated bass music, no one was scared. Nobody cared. Like even my family would be like, that's like sounds weird. Like nobody was watching my YouTube videos would get 200 views at the max and sometimes less. And I would spend like so much time and money preparing those sets, hiring videographers, finding locations, bringing instruments. And then almost nobody would want to see them. And there were moments where I was thinking that maybe I should stop. Maybe like nobody cares about it and nobody wants it. Maybe it's too weird. Maybe it's too different. But something like inside me like told me to keep going. And then suddenly things like started to change. Like one of my like shadow work mix that I was telling you about earlier today, it got like 3,000 views, and it might sound like not much for a lot of people, but for me, after like 200, 300 views, it felt huge. And like people started to comment, and not just with comments like, oh, cool mix, but they would like be writing paragraphs on like how this mix actually affected them, like what it made them feel. And yeah, so they were telling me that they listened to it multiple times, and each time it like provoked like different emotions, and it really helped them. And then my like Tibetan bowl video on TikTok started to get a lot of attention, and it was all attracting like the right audience, like people who really want to hear it. And then on Instagram, my scratch video started to like go viral, and I got 15,000 followers for a month, and it never happened in my life. And it's all from one video that didn't even get like 200,000 views.
Wow.
Like I had like videos go viral and get like millions of views before, but only would get like 100 followers out of it. And here the conversion was insane. And that's where I started to feel like, wow, like that's people were actually like wanted to hear that they just like, and they just like started to find me just now. And like I've been invited like to teach it, just recorded a masterclass where I would for a DJ school. It's actually like a DJ school for girls. And they asked me to explain like what I'm doing, how I'm combining healing frequencies, and like how do I create my elevated bass music. So people like started to invite me to teach, and I'm starting to get my first like bass music events, invitations, and festivals. And you asked about like next step. Like I really want to bring elevated bass music to festivals.
Yeah.
That's like my main goal, and I started to have first offers. So hopefully this year we're already gonna get to the first like festival lineups.
It's exciting.
Yeah, and yeah, that's like the main goal, to like keep making more mixes, more original songs,
Yeah.
and start to like putting myself out there. This hard part is very hard for me because I'm very getting stressed out easily. I'm terrified of performing. I love it. Like after like a few songs, then I get into my flow and I feel comfortable and relaxed after. But first two songs, it's like a nightmare for me. Yeah, and but I feel like that's something that is my gift, and I need to share with the world. So even like I'm doing it, even if I'm scared.
Yeah.
And yeah, so festivals, more events, more music. That's the plan.
Nice. Do you have like a dream festival that you want to play at?
Oh, so many. But the first ones that come to my head is the ones that I was already like negotiating with right
Okay.
now. Like I don't want to drop
You don't,
names.
you don't have to say, you don't have to say it if you don't want to. That's fine.
I feel like yeah, the more festivals I'll be able to bring elevated music on, it's like the better it's gonna be. So I'm yeah, just like the one I can mention that I was actually listening in your podcast about the Shambhala
Mm-hmm.
in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be playing in Canada for my first time next month.
Wow.
And they also found me from my new Instagram, from this Instagram, and they found me, and it's going to be amazing events. I'm going to be doing performance during sunset, and
At
it's going.
Shambhala?
No, in Vancouver,
Okay.
in Canada, because I haven't been in Canada before. And now, like when I was watching the Shambhala video that you put out,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, that's another festival that I would love to bring elevated bass music to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll be there this year. So if you end up finding a way to get over there after your show in Vancouver, I would be great to see you for sure. Um,
It sounded amazing. Like a lot of people were telling me that you would be a great fit for Shambhala, but I've
yeah.
never really like watched any videos or anything. But after like watching part of your podcast, I was like, oh, I need to first I need to watch some videos from there, and it sounded like so magical, sounded totally like my vibe, and I need to start planning of making my way there.
Yeah. Definitely. No, you'd definitely be a great fit there for sure. Well, Eliza, this has been amazing, and we're near the end of our show here. And there's one question I always ask my guests at the end of the show, which is, what's one question that you might have for the audience that might, help shift their perspective or have them think about something in a different way?
I think it wouldn't be a question. It would be like something that I want to leave the audience with,
Mm-hmm.
because that's been a very important theme around the past like half a year of my life. And what I want to leave them with, like, that don't wait until you're confident. Because if I waited until I felt confident, I probably wouldn't have done any of the things I've done. I wouldn't have moved across the world. I wouldn't have studied with my heroes. I wouldn't have started elevated bass music. I wouldn't be releasing my own music. I wouldn't be doing this interview. And people often assume that confidence comes first and then you take action. But for me, it's always been the opposite. I take action while being scared, while doubting myself, and like while feeling like completely unprepared. And I feel this all the time. Like I need more time. I need to like one more course to learn more. I need to like to practice one more time, you know? And but you need to do it, and then confidence slowly follows. And I think a lot of people are waiting for this like magical moment where they suddenly feel ready. And I also don't think that this moment exists. At least it never existed for me. So if you have a dream, if you have an idea, if you have something that keeps calling you, even if it makes absolutely no sense to anybody else, like I would encourage you to explore it, because some of the best things in my life started as ideas that sounded completely ridiculous. Like starting with DJ Qbert, with like the biggest scratch DJ in the world, right? And moving to America, combining bass music with singing bowls, started elevated bass music. Like none of these ideas were logical, and yet they ended up changing my life. So trust yourself, trust your intuition, and trust the things that keep showing up. And you know what's interesting? Then now, a lot of people messaging me that around half a year ago, they had exactly same idea in their mind to combine like music, bass music with singing bowls, but they got afraid and they got scared and they never tried it. But now they see me do it, and I inspire them, and like now they feel ready to try it. And that's the theory that I actually heard before, that universe puts an idea into hundreds of people around the world, but only like a couple of these people are going to be able to bring this idea to life, because someone else going to be either scared or think that it's not a good idea or afraid that people going to laugh at them, right? And that's why universe like doesn't take these chances and gives it to as many people as possible, so at least someone will do it. And now I see it like with examples that people actually write to me and they're like, I had this idea like exactly at the same time, and this is like insane to me. So yeah, don't, if you got this idea, it means that it is like it is for you, like go do it. And yeah, trust your intuition, and maybe like stop trying so hard to like fit in. And yeah, maybe you're here to create something that didn't exist before.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I guess like one more thing, like with elevated bass music, like I wasn't creating something because I thought people wanted it. I was creating it because I needed it. And then like something like really beautiful happened, that the moment I stopped trying to like fit in and be like all the other DJs like that I was trying to do for the past like 15 years. And after I stopped trying to fit in, people started like to find me, and I'm starting to get all this like opportunities that I couldn't have like dreamt of like just like a few months ago. Yeah, I guess that would be like the message that I wanted to leave the audience with.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I love it. Anywhere else you want to send people before we sign off?
Probably to my YouTube, because that's where my elevated bass music mixes are.
Great.
Instagram
Well,
also, all the shows and updates of
Yeah.
this team. There's many beautiful souls at my shows as possible.
Great. And we'll have links to all that in the description. So, DJ Eliza, this has been such a pleasure and a blessing to have you on the show. And we'll have to do it again in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was
Ciao.
great.